Hello my friends, welcome back to another video. My name is Amanda and welcome to my kitchen. Today's video is brought to you by Purple Carrot. I'm really happy to be working with them to bring you this video. They have sent me this box of delicious food and I'm really excited to see what we got. I have no idea what's in here, but Purple Carrot is a plant-based meal kit subscription-based service. They have ready-to-eat meals or like meal kits where they have everything pre-portioned out. You just have to kind of prepare it and throw it together. If you've been around for this month, you've seen me post a few other videos reviewing previous kits that I have purchased, but I'm really excited to see what this week's meals are. And if you're interested in trying Purple Carrot for yourself, I have a link down below that you can click on, and if you make a purchase through that link, it really helps support my channel. So yeah, let's see what we got this week. All right, so let's open up our box and see what delicious meals we have for this week. Oh, I'm having a hard time here. All right. Of course it opens this way. It figures, right? All right. Okay, this is exciting. So this is a sesame gnocchi with broccoli, ginger, and pumpkin butter. This is definitely something that I would pick for myself, so that is exciting. We got some garlic, which probably goes through a few different recipes. Okay, we have a sprouting broccoli salad with sunflower seeds and miso power dressing. That sounds great. Looks like there's some Brussels sprouts and some peppers, some olives in there. I'm not a super big olive fan, but who knows. Let's see what else we got. And then we have a creamy tomato bisque with quinoa and Parmesan roasted cauliflower. That sounds like really good. I think that's all that's in here. Yeah, so we have 3 meals to try this week. I'm actually like really excited to try these. I was actually looking at the menu and the sesame ginger gnocchi was one that I wanted to try. Now, everything's kind of frozen, which is interesting, but I guess not really interesting. For those of you that don't know, I live in Illinois, and like this week, the high right now is 16 degrees, which is warm because it was like -40 with the wind chill 2 days ago. So it's been really cold, so like I'm not surprised, but hopefully it'll thaw out okay. I'm really excited to try these recipes, so stick around. I think I'm just gonna do this all in one video instead of breaking it up like I did for the previous 2 boxes. So I think we'll make all these recipes in today's video. I'll let you know what I think, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, if any of these recipes sound good, stick around and let's get cooking. First up, we are making the creamy tomato bisque, and like I had mentioned when I unboxed this, the produce came in frozen, and unfortunately that was an issue throughout this box. I also did not receive the recipe book in this box from Purple Carrot, so I had to search for the recipes and print them myself. The cauliflower was still actually pretty frozen. It looked kind of icky. The shallot was frozen and the basil was black because it had been frozen and cold. It was like that before I put it in the fridge. I just want to clarify that. And then the coconut milk was also frozen. So we'll get into that in a bit later. But the first thing we're gonna do for this recipe is cook up the quinoa. And I was like, quinoa and soup? I don't know. But I think it was a good combination. So we're gonna roast the cauliflower with some salt and pepper in the oven, cut up some garlic and shallot, and like I never thought of making a tomato soup out of crushed tomatoes, so this was kind of a cool experience of a recipe. So we sauteed the garlic and shallots in some oil. The only thing you really need from your kitchen is oil, pepper, and salt. Get a little bit of color on those aromatics and let them soften. And then we add the cashews, tomatoes, coconut milk, and a little bit of water in there. And everything was fine except the coconut milk. Like I said, you could even see ice crystals on the top of that. So it was a little bit of a struggle to get it out of the can. And I had to put the lid on my pot just to kind of allow the steam to help melt that coconut milk. because it was a little bit of a challenge, and the broccoli didn't roast super evenly because it was frozen. I did contact customer service and they're supposed to be sending me a replacement box, but we'll see what happens. So then here's me making a mess trying to melt that coconut milk. The idea of tossing Parmesan on cauliflower though, I never really thought of doing that, and that was really tasty. So you bring the soup to kind of a simmer, and you do need a blender for this recipe. So that is kind of a downside if you don't have a blender. You could do this in a food processor. If you have it, it probably just wouldn't be as smooth, but that is important. And then you definitely want to make sure you remove the vent from the lid when you're blending, which I was having a hard time doing that without holding the lid, but I got it eventually. So put the lid on, and then I always cover it with a towel just to prevent any splatter, and then blend that up until smooth. It was very thick. So I think I would like it to be a little thinner for like a soup, but I mean, it smelled good, and I was like, wow, crushed tomatoes? Okay, this is pretty innovative and like beginner friendly, I guess. So you add half the soup into the bowl, top it with the quinoa, which I thought was a little strange, and then top it with the roasted cauliflower. And because of the quinoa, there actually is a decent amount of protein in this dish, which I liked a lot. This is a very kind of bland looking dish because I don't have the fresh basil to put on top of it, and it's not something I just have on hand. I did add just some dried basil just to kind of get some of that flavor in there from my pantry. But yeah, so this dish, it didn't look, I think, super appetizing. It was pretty, and I was just a little annoyed at this point by the quality of the ingredients, because if you've seen my last few videos, like I've had really good produce and good experience, and it's been much colder when I got the other boxes, so I was really surprised as to why this one did not turn out so good. The flavor was interesting. It was not bad. I actually really liked the Parmesan cauliflower and the addition of the quinoa. It's not something that I would have made on my own, but I think that it's something that, like, if I wanted to add quinoa onto a soup, I would like cook it and then crisp it up in the oven and kind of use it as croutons, maybe mix the Parmesan in there. I didn't hide my frustration or disappointment very well in this recording, but like it was good. I enjoyed this, and it was good for leftovers. So I would consider making a rendition of this again, just maybe not this exact thing. Next up, we are making the sprouting broccoli salad with farro and Brussels sprouts, and you also need a blender for this recipe, so that is something to keep in mind. Again, we have our produce, which was looking a little sad because it was frozen and then it had thawed, but we're working with what we got. So the first thing we're gonna do is cook the farro, which I was excited to try farro again in a different recipe, so that was cool. Then we're gonna rinse all of our produce, broccoli, peppers, the lemon, and the Brussels sprouts, because we are using the lemon zest for this recipe. Chop up the shallot, juice and zest the lemon, and then clean up the Brussels sprouts, cutting them into strips, as well as the pepper, and then also cutting up the broccoli. This is a primarily raw salad, but we are going to be cooking the broccoli and I think the shallots and the broccoli, but definitely I think it's just the garlic and the broccoli. Now I don't actually remember, but it's fine. The recipe's linked in the description box below if you're interested. And then while the broccoli is cooking, we're gonna add oil, lemon juice, hemp seeds, the miso paste, which is a very good umami balm, into a blender and blend that up until smooth. I forgot to unlock the blend mode and the silicone ring for my blender broke, so yeah. Having a little issue there, and then when the broccoli is done, toss the lemon zest in there. I really liked this combination. I'm gonna have to remember this for a future just food to eat. Broccoli tossed with lemon juice or lemon zest, garlic, salt, and pepper, and then yeah, so everything's done, and it's a salad, so we're pretty much just gonna combine everything in a bowl. I did kind of half this because I didn't want to dress everything, I think. because I was only eating half of it. So we add the broccoli, the Brussels sprouts, and then some of the dressing into the bowl. Give that a little toss with the sunflower seeds. Actually, this is everything. I don't know why I didn't dress half of it because I was eating it for leftovers, but whatever. So mix everything into a big bowl, and then it is going to get plated. And then here's me forgetting to turn my camera off, but it's okay. We can chat for a little bit longer. And so I have my bowl here. I added in half of the farro, half of the veggie mixture, and then the peppers and the olives, and a little bit more of the dressing on top. And like I should have known better. I don't like olives, and I keep trying them to see if maybe my tastes change, or maybe it's like a certain type of olive that I don't like, but I can't even describe it. But I feel like you either like olives or you don't like olives. Like the smell of them, the texture of them, the taste of them, I just don't like. And like they're salty, so it's surprising to me that I don't like olives, because like I love salt, but I like crunchy and salty, so I don't know. So this looked nice. It looked pretty close to the picture that was online that I had found of this recipe. Again, I was a little like apprehensive of trying this because of the olives, but like I was really happy with how it turned out, and it was pretty easy, and I'm like, wow, this is going to be healthy. So I liked the dressing. It was actually really tasty, and I was also a little nervous about eating raw Brussels sprouts, but like it was good. The olives, not so good. I did try it by itself, and I was like, yeah, definitely no. But with it mixed in at this point, it wasn't too noticeable, but the leftovers, like after it sat and that olive flavor just took over, and to be honest, I couldn't eat the rest of it, so I should not have put the olives in. So like that's just goes to show that if there's something in a recipe that you don't like, don't feel like you have to add it. It was overall good, but the olives killed it. So then the next up, I was really excited to make this gnocchi because I love gnocchi. I don't know why I don't eat it more often. Probably because I can't really find a vegan version in my local store. I just have to make it, and that's a lot of work. But pumpkin powder I thought was interesting, and for this recipe there was a lot of ginger. I actually could not use the ginger that came with this recipe because it was, like I said, frozen, and it was gross, so I had to throw that away and use my own ginger. But the first thing we're going to do is heat up some salted water for our gnocchi, and then wash our veggies, chop that all up. I had some ginger in my freezer and garlic in my freezer, and I was feeling lazy, so I did that. So again, we're gonna zest and juice. Wow, there you go. So if you're gonna juice and zest something, it's Zeus. Yeah. Hey, take care of our lime and our shallot, and then again we're cooking our broccoli in a pan. The broccoli is going to saute for a bit, and then the gnocchi does not take long to cook. So you put it in the water. When they float, take it out, and then toss the heated up gnocchi with a little bit of oil so they don't stick together. Or you could probably just put them on a plate if you don't want to use oil. And then we're adding all of this ginger and garlic to the broccoli as well as the shallot, and then this was a lot of ginger. I don't know if I just measured wrong. I weighed it and it was the same amount that the recipe recommended, but like, whew, it was spicy. So we added the ginger, garlic, and shallots. We're adding in the pasta water here, which is going to be the base for our sauce, the pumpkin powder and the puree. And here's me just forgetting to turn off my phone, and I don't know why I didn't take this out of the video, but you know what? I'm already doing the voiceover, so we're just going to keep going. But like, I think for making this recipe, I would recommend mixing the pasta water, the pumpkin powder, and the vegan butter in like a bowl, like whisking that up, because there were definitely some chunks of pumpkin powder that like weren't dissolving, and it was like sticking to the broccoli weird. And I overcooked the broccoli because I had to keep cooking it to try and make this like dissolve. So yeah, adjustment to the recipe that I would do. And then you add in the gnocchi, and like honestly, like gnocchi that are not fried are not really good in my opinion. So honestly, if I were to make this on my own, I would fry up the gnocchi after boiling it just to give it a little bit of a firmer texture and then add everything in. So like the consistency of this dish was a little bit off in terms of texture that I like. But it looked pretty. I liked the color combination of the broccoli and the like pumpkin. This did not at all look like the picture. And then it does get topped off with sesame seeds. I would say like the ginger and the pumpkin was kind of a strange combination for this dish entirely, but it came together very easy in terms of workability for the recipe. So it is a very beginner friendly recipe. It smelled good, but I would say that there were some adjustments that I would make personally. It was very spicy, so there was so much ginger in this. I would probably cut the ginger down by half, and even go as far as saying removing the broccoli from the pan, cooking the onions, ginger, and garlic separately so they actually have time to cook down and kind of lose a little bit of that bite because it was a little much for me. Like it was definitely spicy. I don't know if it's something that I would make again, but like it was not bad. I think it was a very beginner friendly recipe, but make it to your tastes. So yeah, not my best experience of a box, but the recipes were okay. Alright my friends, that is a wrap on today's video. I hope you enjoyed seeing me make these purple carrot meals. And again, if you're interested in trying purple carrot for yourself, don't forget to click that link in the description box below. It really helps support my channel. And I just wanted to say thank you again to Purple Carrot to sending me this delicious box of food. And I just wanted to kind of reiterate, like, I wanted to share my own opinions about these meals just as they are. Purple Carrot isn't telling me to say anything specific about each meal. They did provide me with this box and a link that supports my channel, but this is just my personal opinion about the food, and it is my personal taste. So just because I don't like something doesn't mean you won't, or just because I do, you might not. But it is a really great way to try new dishes and new flavors that you normally wouldn't combine. And I also think it's really cool that Purple Carrot has the option of doing pre-made meals so that you just have to heat them up, because I know life can get really busy sometimes, and sometimes it's just really hard to think of like what to make to feed yourself and nourish yourself with good tasting healthy foods. So if you're feeling like you're kind of in a food rut, or you're feeling stuck, or just want some new inspiration for your own cooking, I really recommend trying out Purple Carrot. I really truly did enjoy my experience as a paying customer and as someone who's being sponsored by them today. So I really think that it's worth trying, if not just for a box to get some new ideas. But yeah, so I could keep rambling and rambling, but I think I'll just cut it short. I just want to say thanks again for sticking to the end and watching this video. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. If you're new, it really helps support me. And you know, if you found this video interesting, maybe give it a share to your friends who might be interested, that need some food inspiration. And yeah, so I'll leave you with that. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye for now.